tabletop game, Subbuteo, has been played by generations of children and adults for more than 6 decades. It blends a passion for football with skill and imagination, and it remains popular and highly collectible today. To tell me more, I'm meeting superfan Stuart Grant, who boasts one of the largest collections in the country. Stuart, what a fantastic collection. Is it all of it?
No, sadly not. There's probably enough at home to do another 2 stadiums. Team-wise, I've probably got about 300 teams.
What got you started in the first place?
1990, in the summer, my first proper football memory, Italian 90, Gazza's tears. So that started my buzz in football. And then that Christmas, my mum and dad got me a Subbuteo set, and I remember getting it out, setting it up, 1 grandstand. But then, a few years ago, I was living in a flat with my wife now, and we had this massive loft. It was huge, and it sort of went from there. I wanted to build a stadium that you see here, just to have what I wanted as a kid. And then it escalated. I got offered teams, and the next thing you know, you're knee-deep in Subbuteo.
Just fantastic. When was the first Subbuteo made?
So, Peter Adolf, very clever man. He was very well known for his entrepreneurial ideas.
Yeah.
Come up with the idea in the 40s and put it out in 1947. All he did, he put an advert out in Boys Own magazine for a tabletop football game. Didn't really have a game to sell at the time, just put the advert in there. Being an entrepreneur, he thought he could do something. And then he got loads of orders, so he had to start putting the game together and sending it out. Literally, he didn't even have a name at that point.
What a genius.
Well, I know. What you originally got was just flat teams. I mean, this set there, that's an early 50s set where you'd get wide goals, you'd get celluloid players on a thin base, you'd get the big ball. You didn't even get a pitch.
Oh, right.
An old army blanket is what you was told to use, so obviously there was surplus from the war.
So the question for me is, where did the name Subbuteo come from?
Peter Adolf, he originally wanted to call it the hobby, but he couldn't get a trademark for it. And
too generic.
Exactly that. So he was an ornithologist. He used to collect bird eggs. And the Eurasian hobby bird, or falco hobby, in Latin, it translated to Subbuteo.
Good Lord, you wouldn't have put the two together, would you?
Wouldn't at all, would you?
From the flat cut-out players of the 1940s and 50s, the game was modernised in the 60s with the introduction of 3D players known as heavyweights, and these were hand-painted.
The housewives that wanted to make a little bit of money on the sides, they would get sent the teams and they would have to paint them in detail. To get any money at all, that's paying £1,000 a week, which isn't easy, and that is what adds to the charm. Some of them are really rough, some of them are really well done. I mean, what they all wanted to do was get a Leeds United, which was very easy. They just had to paint the skin on because they played in all white.
Now, there must have been a huge explosion in the 60s when England won the World Cup in 1966.
It was, yeah, because up till then they only made about 50 sites.
Right.
From there, sort of on the back of England winning the World Cup, they made more teams. They ended up making near 400 different references and different teams. You'd be able to get teams from Holland, France, in America, all around the world, and it boomed from there. And Subbuteo in the 70s was huge.
In the early 1980s, to keep up with demand, players were mass-produced in factories and had more detailed club kits. These players are called lightweights. So is there a big collector's market?
Yeah, massively. In the last year or so, we've seen prices double on some
Really?
things. Really? I mean, these grandstands, I remember when I first started collecting, I was paying sort of £10, £15 for them.
Yeah.
Now, you'll get one of these grandstands for up to 30 quid, 50 quid at times, just for 1 grandstand. Yeah, the Southend United team now, I paid £80 for that.
You didn't?
I did, yeah, but nowadays it's probably 150. Teams everyone bought, like Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, they were 10 a penny, so they don't hold a lot of value, whereas these teams from abroad or further afield around the world, they can be worth an absolute fortune.
What's your most valuable team?
So, my most valuable team is Nijmegen, which is a Dutch side. That can range anywhere, that team, from £150 to £300 to try and get hold of one, depending on the condition. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
There's been a very shocking price recently where I've got over there the England Jubilee Box Edition.
Yes.
You can get a set of England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland all wrapped in one. That full set recently just sold for £1,600. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Well, the passion really comes across when you're talking about this.
It's about capturing memories, and I'm lucky enough to have a gold Wolves team, that with a few other bits I was offered by a friend of mine whose dad sadly passed away, and get them sort of teams into my collection. They're more important to me than just buying a £90 team or having a team that's worth a lot of money, because they meant something.
You are a true collector because you're not governed by the value.
Not at all.
Stuart, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Your passion for this subject is infectious. Well, it's full-time.